fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today with a video that I've actually had planned out in the back of my mind for quite a while, and I just never got around to doing it. And that is a video on inexpensive ways to frame your diamond paintings. For me, especially when I do a lot of these 30 by 30s, the smaller sizes, I actually typically don't frame them. I will cut off the edges on the lines that they provide, and then I will stick them in my portfolio book. However, occasionally you do want to frame things. So what do you do? Of course, the first and most obvious thing is that you can actually frame them. Now, I have done this with other 30 by 30s. I actually have a couple in this size of frame, and they're just inexpensive frames that I found on Amazon. Just inexpensive black wooden frames, and I'll stick a link to them down below. There's a ton of different ones at all different price points, so if framing is what you want to do, you can do it fairly inexpensively, especially these 30 by 30 sizes. That's kind of a standard size of frame, and you can find them at big box stores like Walmart, Target, and other places as well. However, sometimes you want something even a little bit more inexpensive than that. So what else can you do? Well, there's lots of things that you can do. But one of the things that people don't like about these is that it has all of this stuff printed on it. So what can you do about that? Well, you can take just some plain nail polish remover, and I'm going to just pour some of it into the lid, and I'm going to take a cotton swab, get it wet, and then you can just go over the ink and the nail polish will get rid of the ink. Now, it's not perfect. It does take a while. Some canvases, this will be a faster process than others, but you can get rid of that ink and then just have a white canvas all around. And then if you wanted to just slap it into a frame, you could. So that's one option. If you didn't want to go to all the trouble of doing this with nail polish remover, cotton swabs, and going all around the edges of the canvas, you can just cut everything off the edges of the canvas and then frame from there. If I'm actually going to stick it in a frame, like the first one that I showed you, I will cut off some of this, usually leave about 1/4 of an inch on each side, and then when I frame it, the lines and everything won't show. Some people like to use, instead of the regular type frames, you can get magnetic frames. And these are really just magnetic hangers that you can get from a variety of places, and I'll stick a link down below to where I got this one. So it just has these little magnets in it, and you put one on each side of your painting. And obviously you would want to do this either after you have trimmed off the edges or you've gotten rid of all of the ink so that you can't see it. And then you just put your painting in between. Same thing, these bottom ones have magnets as well. And you can put your painting in between. Let me get these lined up. In between here. And then you can just hang your painting somewhere on a hook. And I like this option because you can switch this out at any time. You can with the other frame as well, but this one is just a lot easier. It's just a matter of undoing the magnets to get them out of the frame. So if you like to switch your paintings around seasonally so that you have different ones displayed at different times, this is a nice way to do that. And you can get these, I got this in like this kind of brown wood, natural wood color, but you can get these in other colors as well, and they're not that expensive either. So there is another option. However, if you don't want to do any framing at all, you can just use paint. And you can buy these kind of acrylic paints at any store, any big box store, Walmart, Target. You can order them online. Most of us, if we're crafters, have some hanging around, and you can literally just paint the edges and cover up everything that is here. And then if you wanted to just display it like that, if I painted all around this with black, for example, it would look like a black frame, and then I could just, I don't know, sticky tack it to the wall if I wanted to. I could still, even with the black paint, I could still use my magnet frames if I wanted to hang it up that way, just so it makes, you know, the paint makes a nice clean lined edge around it. However, it is a lot of work to sit down and actually paint all of these. Even if you're using a decent sized brush, you know, you may have to do more than one coat, let it dry in between. You know, it may flake or chip if you move the painting around or anything, so it's not foolproof either, but it is inexpensive. I mean, these are usually less than $1 or somewhere around $1 for a thing of paint, and this will last you obviously several canvases. You know, I probably could do, I bet you could do 30 or more canvases, just the edging with one bottle of paint. It doesn't take a lot of paint. It is fabric, so it does absorb some of the paint, but it's an option. The next option I wanted to talk to you guys about was washi tape, because washi tape is a nice inexpensive option as well. So lots of us have washi tape just laying around from various projects, especially diamond painting projects, and you can literally just take your washi tape and use that to make your edges. The problem with washi tape that you need to be aware of is that washi tape doesn't cover everything. So if I put my washi tape down here, you can see this washi tape is thin enough that I can still see everything underneath it. So even if I wanted to cover up all of my lines and everything, I really can't, because my washi tape is so thin that you're still going to be able to see everything anyway. Washi tape, as you can see, peels up very easily, so it's a very non-destructive kind of option. However, that can be a con as well as a pro, because that means it won't stick as well as you need it to. I personally find when I use washi tape to washi tape the edges of my canvas when I diamond paint, that my corners tend to curl up unless it's a pretty strong adhesive washi tape. Now, you can get different kinds of washi tape with different designs, obviously. This one is a little bit wider than the last one, and because it has a different design, if I wanted to use this one to edge my diamond painting here, and I wouldn't use this one, but just as an example, you can see, especially where the darker ones are, it covers up pretty much everything underneath it. Here in the lighter sections you can still see, but where it's very dark you can't see. So if you got a darker patterned washi tape and a thicker washi tape and a wider washi tape, you know, you could do that. And if I was going to use something this size, I might be able to double it up, do one layer here and then overlap it with another layer to cover up that whole side of the canvas, or you could just cut your canvas off at that point. So again, a nice non-destructive option, but again, even with, you know, darker washi tapes, not necessarily going to cover up everything like you want it to, and may or may not stick the way that you want it to. But it is a nice inexpensive option, especially if you switch out your diamond paintings a lot and you like to change out what is displayed. That is a very nice inexpensive option. The next option for tape that I wanted to talk about was duct tape. And duct tape now comes in all kinds of colors and designs, so you can get pretty much anything you want. I mean, you can get duct tape with ducks on it. You can get duct tape with, you know, rainbows or whatever, unicorns. I don't know if they have unicorns, but lots of different designs for duct tape. And the benefit for duct tape is, one, again, cheap, easily accessible to most people. Most big box stores, Target, Walmart, those kind of places are going to have it. And it's pretty wide, so you're going to cover that whole margin, unlike your washi tape. And also, unlike washi tape, if you put this down, it's going to completely cover everything that's underneath it. So if you wanted to leave all of the printing on here, you could, and it wouldn't show through your duct tape, and it would look good. So you could put, you know, duct tape along this whole side, fold the extra around the edges. This also helps give some stability if you're on a more flimsy kind of fabric for your diamond painting to hold it, if you're going to use, say, one of the magnetic frames or something else. But lots of options. And like I said, you can get duct tape pretty inexpensively, and it comes in all kinds of colors and designs these days, so it's a nice option. The last option that I wanted to talk about is the adhesive frames that you can get from a lot of the budget diamond painting companies. And essentially this is tape, right? It's a foam tape, and it's got like a design stamped into it. So you can see it's got like a little bit of a scroll design stamped into it. So you would simply cut it to the size that you need. So for example, let me cut this here. I'm going to cut it a little bit long, so if I need to, you just cut it with scissors. See, it's just foam, but it is adhesive on the back. Now, it is wide and generally wider than you're going to need, because the intention here is that you're going to attach this to your wall. Now, I've not tested it to see how easily it comes off your wall, but it's not a super sticky adhesive. You know, I don't know what kind of paint you have on your drywall, etc., what your walls are made of. So, you know, your mileage may vary. You would need to test something, and I highly encourage that you don't hang it somewhere that you're going to be upset if it gets damaged. So if you rent an apartment or whatever, don't just slap it up on the wall until you test it on something to see how well it releases. But it is a nice option. And if you're just going to, again, hang it on like a whiteboard or something where the adhesive will remove easily, you could even get, to account for the overhang, you could get like some poster board or cardstock to put behind this, and then add the frame to, you know, make your cardstock, your poster board, whatever, foam board, larger than your canvas. And then when you frame it, you won't be able to see anything. And then you just peel off the edges, and then you attach it to your diamond painting. That is also the nice thing about this foam. It is flexible, so you can move it around. And then I could just trim off my edges here. If you wanted to have mitered corners, you could cut it so that it would look like a true frame that way. And I can see here I'm kind of missing I've gotten offline. So I'm going to peel this back a little bit. There we go. So you would just do this all around the edges of your painting, and you could, if you wanted, you could cut the rest of this extra off. Any of the overhang, or like I said, if you were going to hang it on the wall, you could use that overhang to attach it to the wall. I'm just going to put that back on so it's not sticking to my table. You could cut off the overhang. So for instance, you know, I'm just going to trim this right here to be even with the edge of the diamond painting. And then I don't need this section. Like I said, if you wanted to cut it so you've got mitered corners, you need to do that before you stick it on there. And then you've just got this really cute diamond painting with a flexible frame on it, so you can put it where you want. So tons of options for inexpensively framing your diamond painting. Like I said, you can use the nail polish remover and try and get rid of all of the ink so that you could use something inexpensive like a traditional frame, or something like this magnetic hanging frame. If you wanted to do that, you can use paint. And the good thing about paint is that you can choose a paint that goes with the colors of your diamond painting. I mean, black pretty much goes with everything, so that's an obvious choice. You could also use white, or like I said, you could pick something like, for this particular painting, a teal or red might have been a nice choice as well. For paint, you can use washi tape. Just make sure, again, that you don't use one that's going to be see-through if you're going to leave the printing on there. Or you can get ones that are slightly wider and or darker, and they sell ones that are even wider than this. That would be about as wide as this here. So washi tape is always a good option. You can use duct tape. Again, duct tape comes in all kinds of colors and designs. So if you wanted to use something like that, and again, you could get it in a color or a design that matched the diamond painting that you were doing. Or you can just get yourself some flexible framing, and this comes in all kinds of colors and designs as well. I chose the black, but you can get it in gold or red, or, you know, something that would, again, match the colors that go with your diamond painting if you didn't want to just have everything framed in black. I'm pretty boring in that respect. I think pretty much most of my diamond paintings, with the exception of a couple of my Frame It Easy frames, are framed in black, because black is usually the most inexpensive option when you're looking at frames. Black goes with everything, so unless you're looking for a funky color or whatever, it's usually easily accessible and not that expensive. So there you go, guys. Lots of different options for you to frame your diamond paintings inexpensively, and ways that also let you change them out if that's what you're into. I know lots of us like to change out our decor seasonally, so if you wanted to do something like that, then this lets you do that as well. I will stick links down in the description below to everything that I think you need. Like, obviously, I don't want to stick links to duct tape and paint and nail polish remover. You can find those things on your own, but I'll throw a couple of links in the description box below for this foam framing tape, for the magnetic frame, and then I think if I can find it, I'll find the link to the small 30 by 30 frames that I get on Amazon down below as well. So make sure you check out the description box. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video, guys. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.